Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Okay, just one second. I share my screen. Hello.
Can you hear us?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. How are you?
I'm
Okay.
good. How are you?
I am also fine. Okay, just one second. So now you are in grade 7. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, so today in this class, I will ask few questions of a different topic, and I also explain that questions also. Okay, so first of all, what do you know about power and exponent? Have you any idea about power and exponent?
Um, yes.
So what do you mean by power and exponent? Anything
Um,
else?
um, how the um an exponent it was um it's a number and the number it is. So if it's x to the third power, then it would be
Yes,
x times x times x.
correct. Okay, so here you can see that in this one I have show you few examples based on power and exponent. Okay, so can you identify this one? Write the product using exponent. So here first question you can see that we have a 10. This dot represent multiplication. Okay, so that is 10 multiply 10 multiply 10. So how can we write this one in the form of power and exponent? Can you identify?
10 to the third power.
Yes, correct. So that can be written as 10 to the power 3, because here 10 can be multiplied 3 times. Okay. In the second question, you can see that we have a 4.3 multiply 4.3. So how can be written as this one in the form of exponent and powers?
4.3 squared.
Correct. 4.3 square. And here you can see that in third question we don't have a number. X is there. So what can you say about this X? X, that is a variable. Okay, so how can we write this one?
X to the fourth power.
Correct. X to the fourth power. Now, another question I can ask you, just one second. Suppose I have a question like this one. Okay, so if I write here minus 5 multiply minus 5, so how can we write this one? Number is a negative.
You can write it minus 5 squared, or you can write it 5 squared.
Yes, so we can write minus 5 square, and then if we find the answer of this one, that is a 25. That is a different. But here, just I can show you what is power and which one is exponent. So here, power and exponent, another important thing you have to remember. Can you identify which one is a base and which one is a exponent in these examples? In 10,
Yes.
in 10 cube. or we can say we can read as 10 raised to 3. So which one is a base and which one is an exponent?
10 would be the base and the exponent would be 3.
Correct. Okay, so similarly we have here 4.3 square, so 4.3 is a base and 2 is a exponent. Same here, 4 x raised to 4, so x is a base and 4 is a exponent. And here also minus 5 square, so minus 5 is a base and here exponent is a 2. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, if you have any doubt, so you can ask me. Okay, so I will explain. Now, I have another few questions regarding power and exponent. Now, this question we have identify the base and exponent of the expression 13 raised to 5 we have. So, in 13 raised to 5, which is our base and which is our exponent?
The base would be 13 and the exponent would be 5.
Correct. So now another question is this one. Here you can see that they can say what is the how are the expression 3 raised to 4 and 4 raised to 3 are different. So can
They're
you,
different. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
So why these two are,
Um,
how these two are different? 3 raised to 4 we have and 4 raised to 3. So how these two are different? Can you identify?
they're different because 3 raised to 4 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3,
Correct.
and 4 raised to 3 is 4 times 4 times 4.
Yes. So this one is a 3 raised to 4. That means 4 4 times 3 can be multiplied, and here 4 raised to 3 we can also say 4 cube. So 3 times 4 can be multiplied, and if we find the final answer of this one, so that is 3 threes are 9, threes are 27, threes are 81 we get, and here 4 fours are 16, fours are 64. Another way we can also give the answer of this question, that is what, in 3 raised to 4 if I say what is base, so you can see that here base is a 3 and my exponent is what, so here exponent, that is 4. And another we have 4 raised to 3, so here base is a different. You can see that in a 4 cube we have a base that is equal to 4 and exponent is 3, so that is a different in this question. Understand? So either you can write a first answer or second, both are correct. Understand?
Mm, yes.
Okay. Now according to this base and power and exponent, I have another question. So now you can see that in this question what is given. So this in the table they can show sum of odd numbers. Okay, so what we can identify, so here identify any pattern if you see. So first of all you have to identify the pattern. Second, you have to write a variable expression for the sum of first odd n numbers. Okay, and third question they can say your expression from part B to find the sum of first 100 odd numbers. So how can we identify? So can you identify there is any pattern in this question we have?
The the pattern is that it's in the pattern would be that it's all the odd numbers,
Yes.
but I feel like there's supposed to be something else.
Okay, here you can see that this is a sum of n odd number. So sum of odd numbers are there. Okay, and here you can see that first number is a 1. Second, they can say 1 plus 3. So here you can see that if we add this number 1 plus 3, so what we get a 4, and 4 can be written as a 2 square. So here you can see that according to this one you can see that 1 plus 3 means what, I can add 1 plus 3 means sum of first two odd number I can take. Understand? Sum of first two odd number and their addition, that is what? That is a 2 square. Understand? If I see that here, you can see that if I have to add this one, 1 plus 3 plus 5. So now can you identify what is the sum of this number? Without
Would
adding,
it would be 2 to the third power?
uh, no,
No, it would be 3 squared.
3 square. Because you can see that here we have a sum of first, how many odd numbers I can take? 3 odd numbers. Understand? So here if we take a
Yes.
sum of first 3 odd number, that means 3 square, and that is 9. You can see that 1 plus 3 4 plus 5 9. Similarly, next one you can see that we have 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7. So without adding this number, directly we can say what is the sum of this number. Can you identify?
4 squared?
Yes, that is a 4 square, that is 16. Now, according to this pattern, in the fifth one, you can see that here. So, here I can write 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. So, what is the sum of these numbers?
5 squared?
Correct. Because here you can see that we have to add 5 odd number. Now, according to this one, you have to easily answer the this one question C, that is sum of first 100 odd number. So that is what? If we have
Um,
sum of, okay, first I
um,
can explain the B1. B is what? Write a variable expression for sum of n odd number. So here you can see that according to this table, if here I have a three number, sum of three numbers, so that is a 3 square. Sum of four number, that is a 4 square. So if we have a sum of n numbers, sum of first n number, so what can you say about that one? N
um,
odd numbers.
n is the number of odd numbers.
Yes.
So n, it would be n squared.
Yes. So that is sum of that value, that is a n square. Okay. Similarly, you can see that you can see here what is the answer of this C. In the C, we have first first 100 odd numbers. So what can you say about that one? Sum of first 100 odd number is what?
100 squared.
Correct. So sum of first 100 odd numbers odd numbers, that is equal to what? Here 100 numbers are there, 100 odd numbers, so that is 100 square. So without writing a number, we easily find their square, that is a 10,000. Understand?
Yes.
Any doubt in this question?
No.
So here you can see that in this question, we can use power and exponent. Here power is same, but base can be different. First, you can see that if I write a first odd number, that can be written as a 1 square, that is 1. If we take a sum of two odd numbers, so that is a 2 square. If we take a sum of three odd number, that is a 3 square. Understand? Similarly, we can write sum of four odd number, that can be written as a 4 square. Understand? And if we take n number, so that can be written as n square, and 100, so we can write a 100 square. So here we use a power and exponent. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, my next question is this one, so you can read the question first, so you can understand the question.
Um, the explain why 1 raised to any power is equal to 1.
Yes. So here you can see that what they can say, 1 rise to any power equal to 1. So if we take a simple example, I can take, if we take 1 raised to 1, that is 1. But if I take a 1 square, so what we have?
you would still have 1
Yes,
because
because
1 times
one,
um
that always one. So here, why this thing is happen? Because one multiply itself, so that is a same result. So if we take any power, here you can see that base is same, power is a different. If I write a 1 cube, that is 1. If I write 1 raised to 100, that is also 1. If I take a larger power, for example 10,000, 1 raised to 10,000, so that can be also 1 multiply 10,000 times, that is also 1. So in this question you can see that base is same. Understand? Only power,
yes.
or we can say exponent, can be different. Power, or we can say exponent, can be changed. But here base is a 1, so our result can be same. So power or exponent is a different. But here 1 multiply itself, so that is same as same result. Understand? Just 1 second.
Yes.
So that is the reason we have a this thing. If we take any power, 1 raised to any value, 1 raised to 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, 1 raised to billion, million, etc., we have a same answer, that is 1. Okay, now I gave you this question, you can try to solve this one. Find the value of here x, y, and z, so that each expression x square y cube z raised to 6 has a value 64. Okay, so here
Can
you,
I uh, can I get a notebook?
yes, yes. Okay, here you can see that question is find the value of x, y, and z, so that expression x square, y square, and z, x square, y cube, and z raised to 6 has a value 64. So how can we find the value of x, y, and z? Means value of x, y, z. Can you identify this one? You can try to solve in your notebook, okay, and then you can tell me the answer, no problem. Hello, can you hear me properly?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, yes, now I can hear you. Yes, tell me.
So is the question asking if x squared equals 64 and y cubed equals 64 and z to the sixth equals 64?
Yes, and then you can find the value of x, y, and z. So this is given x square, that is equal to 64, y cube, that is equal to 64, and z raised to 6 is equal to 64. And then we have to find the value of x, y, and z. Okay, you got the answer of x, value of x. If you have any confusion, so I will explain, no problem.
Okay. Um, X is 8,
Correct.
Y is 4, and Z is 2.
Correct. So here you can write this equal to x square. So here which number square, that is a 64. So you can write 8 square. Now what you can do, power can be same. So we have to comparing their base because power is equal. So comparing base, so here we get x is equal to 8. Correct. Similarly here y cube, so which number cube, that is 64, so we can take a 4 cube, and there we comparing base, so we get y is equal to 4. And similarly here z raised to 6 is equal to 64, so 2 raised to 6, so we get z is equal to 2. Correct. Now I gave you one question based on power and exponent. Just a second. So here I can write, just 1 second. So now I can write here 7 raised to 5 multiply 7 raised to 3. So can you identify how can we write this 7 raised to 5 into 7 raised to 3 in the form of power and exponent? Here we cannot multiply, means here we cannot find the value of 7 raised to 5 and 7 raised to 3. Without finding that multiplication, we can directly write this 7 raised to 5 multiply by 7 raised to 3 in the form of power and exponent. Sorry, uh, your voice is very slow.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, yes, now it is good, better.
My microphone has a lot of trouble on Zoom.
Okay, no problem. So here you can see that you got the answer of this one.
Yes,
So what you get?
it would be 7 raised to the power of 8.
Correct. So here you can see that which law we have to apply. Power and exponent have a six different laws. So here you can see that I can write this law a raised to m multiply a raised to n. So this can be, what is the meaning of this law? So you can see that when we have a base is same, power is different, and these are in multiplication, so we have to add the powers, and this law we have to apply here. So 7 raised to 5 plus 3, so we get 8. Now I take another question. If I have, just a second, if I have a raised to 9 multiply a raised to minus 9, so what we get?
Get a raised to minus 81.
No, here you can see that we apply same rule, a raised to m
I mean,
multiply a raised to n. So but power is different, base is same, so we add the power because multiplication is there. So a raised to
oh,
9 plus minus 9, so that can be written as a raised to 9 minus 9, that is a raised to 0. And we have another law, that is anything raised to 0, that is what? 1.
0.
Understand? So here we get a raised to 0 because 9 minus 9, so that is a raised to power 0. Understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now, also I have another question, so I can write here. If I have 25 raised to 20 divided by 25 raised to minus 1, so can you identify what is the simplification of this one in the form of power and exponent? No, I can explain. Here you can see that which law we have to apply. So here you can see that we have a raised to m divided by a raised to n. So base is same, power is a different, but these are in division. So what is the simplification? A raised to m minus n, because it is in division. If it is in multiplication, so we can add, but it is a division, so we have to subtract. And then what we get, 25 raised to 20 minus this sign for formula for negative, and here value is in denominator, power is minus 1, so that can be, we can write in the bracket minus 1. And then what we get, 25 raised to 20 minus minus plus 1, so what we get, 25 raised to 21. Understand? So here we use this law. So when we have a numbers are in the division and base can be same, power is different, so we have to use this law, a raised to m upon a raised to n, that can be written as a raised to m minus n. Understand? Okay, now I have a few questions in geometry. So you can see that in this question, uh, area of a triangle and rectangles you have to find. Okay, so first I have a rectangle, so you have to find the area of this rectangle, and then you have to find the area of a triangle. So can you try to solve this question? Okay, you know what is the formula of area of rectangle we have?
It would be base times.
Yes, that is length into breadth. So here if you find the area, so what you got? So if we find this one, area of a rectangle, so that is L into B, length into breadth. So length we have a 3x minus 2 multiply by 4. So here we get, if you okay, you know how can we multiply these types of expression? Hello? You know how can we multiply this type of expressions?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
It would be 12x
Correct.
minus 8.
Yes, so 12x minus 8, that is the area, because here value of x is not there, so our answer in the form of x. Now in the second figure you see that we have a triangle. So here how can we find the area of this triangle?
The area of the triangle would be 1/2 times base times height.
Yes. So in this question, what is base and which one is a height?
The height would be 5a times 7,
Correct.
and the
Base is 18.
base.
This is our base and this 5a plus 7 is height. So just we have to multiply and simplify. But here you can see that 8 we have 18 by 2, so that can be, we can write 9. So here 9 multiply 5a plus 7. So simply if we simplify, so what we get, 45a plus 63. So that is the area of this triangle. Understand?
Um,
Okay, now my question is, what can you say about this 12x plus 8? That is the area, and here 45 plus a 45a plus 63. So what can you say about this kind of thing? Any idea about that one? Okay, I can explain. This here you can see that we have a 12x minus 8, and this is known as a algebraic expressions. Okay, this kind of expression, because here x is a variable and variable x have a different value. So this is known as a algebraic expression. Okay, now I can give you another question. Just a second. So now we have a this question. Here you can see that a base of a parallelogram is 5 inches and the height is twice the base. Then you have to find the area of a parallelogram. So can you try to solve this question? Okay. You know what is the formula of area of parallelogram?
it would be base times height.
Yes, correct. Base into height. So here base is given and height is also given. So how can we find the area of this parallelogram?
The area of the parallelogram, you would do 5 times 2, and 5 times 2 is 10.
Yes.
So you would do 5 times 10, and that would be 50.
Yes. So here you can see that just one second. Here base is a base is a 5 given. So I can write here base of parallelogram we can consider as a b, that is a 5 inches, and height is twice of the base. So height we can describe by h, that is twice of base, that is 2 into 5, that is a 10 inches. So here I can draw the rough figure of a parallelogram. Just one second. So this is our parallelogram, and in this question we have this is a base. Just a second. So we have this is a base, that is a 5 inches, and we have, you can see that this is our height. So that is 10 inches. Understand? Height is always perpendicular. So here just we have to find the area of parallelogram, that is what? So area of parallelogram, that is base multiply height. So that is 5 multiply 10, that is a 50 uh, square inches. Yes, your answer is correct. Okay, now another question I have, this one. So you know what, how can we find the area of a trapezium or a trapezoid? Trapezoid and trapezium both are same. You know the formula of area of a trapezoid? Okay, no problem. I can explain. So here you can see that in this question what is given, height of a trapezoid is 6 meter and one of its base is 8 meter and also area of trapezoid is given here, and we have to find the other base. Okay, so here I can draw the rough figure of a trapezoid. Just a second. So this is our trapezoid. Okay, now what is the condition, or what which are the properties of a trapezoid we have? Just second, I can explain. So you can see that according to figure of a trapezoid, suppose here I can give the name of trapezoid A, B, C, D. Okay, any name we can give because name is not there. So now you can see that height is 6 meter. Now interesting property of this trapezoid is what? Okay, can you identify which sides are parallel here in this trapezoid? Sorry, which sides are parallel? Hello, I can't hear you properly. Hello.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, now it's better. So now you can tell me which sides are parallel in this trapezium we have, or trapezoid.
Um, the the top line and the bottom line.
Yes. So here you can see that according to this figure, we have AB is parallel to CD or DC. These two lines represent parallel lines. Okay. Now here, according to this one, we have to draw the height. Height always perpendicular. Just second, I can uh, increase the thickness of this line so you can understand. This red line I can draw, that is a height of the trapezoid. Okay, and in the question that height given, that is a 6 meter. Okay, this height is given 6 meter, and here I can take this point is a E, and they can say one base that is a 8 meter. So here we can take height that is a AE, that is equal to height of the trapezoid, that is equal to 6 meter. Base we have to take AB or DC, that can be considered as a base. So if I say suppose AB is equal to 8 meter, that is a base, and we can find the other base that is a CD. Understand? And here you can see that area of trapezoid is given. So which part is the area? Area means I can shaded this trapezoid by this yellow color. So this yellow portion that represent area of a trapezoid. So we have area that is given, that is equal to 54 square meter. Understand? So here you can see that they already given area of a trapezoid is given. Area of, here I can take a trapezoid ABCD. So area of trapezoid ABCD, that is already given 54 square meter. And here we find other base. So how can we find? So we have a one formula to find out the area of trapezoid, and that formula we have to use to find base. So what is the formula? Here I can write down the formula. That is that formula for any trapezoid. Okay, so area of trapezoid is equal to what? That equal to, we have 1 by 2 multiply by height multiply sum of parallel sides, sum of parallel sides. So you can see that according to this figure what we write here, so area is given, that is a 54 is equal to 1 by 2. Height is also given, that is a 6. Sum of parallel side, that can, okay, just second. Here I can write, first write the these values. So here area of trapezoid. So here we have a area of ABCD. Okay, this equal to 1 by 2, which is height here, so that is a AE, sum of parallel sides. So here you can see that sum of parallel side means what. So here which sides are parallel, so you can already say that AB and CD, so we have to add that side, so AB plus CD. Understand? Any doubt
Yes.
in this step?
No.
Okay, so now just I can put the value and simplify. So what we get, so area is already given 54, 1 by 2, height is a 6, multiply in the bracket AB, that is already given base, that is a 8 meter. So I can write 8 plus CD, that other base we have to find. So here, first of all, we have to simplify this one. So how can we simplify? So here you can see that 6 divided by 2 we have. So this can be cancelled out. So here we get a 3. So here what we have, 54 is equal to 3 multiply 8 plus CD. So now if we more simplify, so what we get, this 3 I can take other side, so that can be go into the division, because here it is in a multiplication. Understand? So 54 divided by
Yes.
3 is equal to 8 plus CD. And now we simplify, so 54 divided by 3, that is what? 18 is equal to 8 plus CD. And now we easily find the CD, that is other base, that is equal to what? 18 minus 8, that is equal to 10, and value is given in the meter, so we can write CD, that is equal to other base, that is equal to 10 meter. Understand? So just we can use this formula of area of trapezoid, and then we find this other base, that is a 10 meter. Understand?
Yes.
Any doubt in this question?
No.
Okay. Now, according to area of trapezium, I have another question. So you can see that in this given figure, you have to find the area. So now in this figure, how can we say it is a trapezium? So you can see that in this figure, just 1 second, this dotted line, you can see that. So this figure can be divided into two parts, A and B. So A is a other trapezium and B is a another trapezium. So here A and B are trapezoid, or we can say trapezium. Both can be say. Okay, just second. So here we can say A and B are a trapezoid. Okay, so we can find the separate area of A and B, and then we have to add, so we get a area of figure. So how can we find? So here I can write area of given figure, that is equal to how much? So that is, we can write area of A plus area of figure B. Understand? A plus
Yes.
area of B. But how can we find area of A? So here I can separately find area of A. A is a trapezoid. So can you tell me in the figure A means this part. Just second, I can shade it by yellow portion, so you can easily understand. This is our A. Understand? And here you can see that why it is a trapezoid, because of here only one pair is a parallel. So can you identify which is a parallel in this trapezoid? A, which two sides are parallel, which one is a height?
Um, the height in A is 3 feet,
Yes.
and the two parallel sides
Yes, so two parallel, correct. Two parallel sides are 5 and 8. So if we apply area of a trapezium, and here A is a trapezium, so that is 1 by 2 multiplied by height into sum of parallel sides. So here height can be described by H. Okay, and sum of parallel sides. So just we put the value here, and then we easily get the area of A. So now can you find the area of this trapezoid A? Hello, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So now you can, how can we find the area of this trapezoid A?
Um,
Okay, yes. So here you can see that we can write 1 by 2 height, that is 3, sum of parallel side, that is 8 plus 5, or 5 plus 8, that is same. So here we get 1 by 2 into 3, and if we add, so 5 plus 8, that is a 13. So here if we simplify, so what we get 39 by 2 square feet. That is the area of trapezoid A. Understand? Any doubt in this one? Okay. Similarly, you can see that here if we find same way area of trapezoid B, so in that one also we have same formula, 1 by 2 into height into sum of parallel sides. So in that trapezoid B, can you identify which two sides are parallel and which one is a height in the trapezoid B? So here I can represent trapezoid B by this green color, so you can easily understand. Uh, so here you can see that 1 by 2. What is the height of trapezoid B we have?
um, the height is 3.
Yes. So here you can see that this is the height, because height always at a 90-degree perpendicular. So 3, and sum of parallel sides. So here 4 plus 9. So if we simplify, so what we get, 1 by 2 into 3, and here 4 plus 9, that is a 13. So here again we get 39 by 2 square feet. Now we find the total area. So here I can write total area of figure. Area of A, that is 39 by 2. B, we also 39 by 2. So just we have to simplify. So what we get, 39 plus 39 divided by by 2. So simply we get 39 plus 39 by 2, so that is equal to what? So here you can see that we get 39 plus 39, that is equal to what? 78 by 2. And that can be, we so here you can see that that is equal to what? So simply we uh, get this equal to 39. Understand? Square feet. Understand? So here using the formula of a trapezoid, we have to easily find the area of this figure, because this figure is made of a two trapezoid. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay, now I have another question. So you can see that here also we have a triangle and a rectangle, and you can find the perimeter in the form of expression, because here value is not there. Sides are in the form of a expression. So first of all, can you tell me what do you mean by perimeter?
The,
Perimeter means what? any shape we have. So what do you mean by perimeter? Have you any idea about that one?
The the distance around the shape.
Yes. So perimeter means, simply we can say, sum of all sides. Simple definition. Sum of all sides. So here you can see that we have a triangle. So here I can write perimeter of triangle. That is what. So here three sides are there. So can you identify what is the perimeter of this triangle? We have, so just you apply this definition, sum of all sides. Yes. So here you can see that what we get. So according to this question, we have side x, another is x plus 5, and third side, that is 2x plus 1. So if we add, so x plus x, 2x plus 2x, that is 4x, and number can be added. So 5 plus 1, that is 6. Similarly, here we have to find the perimeter of rectangle. So perimeter of rectangle, that is what, sum of its all side. And you know that rectangle have a two sides equal. So this is also 7y minus 5, and this is also 2y. And the formula is 2 into L plus B. Okay, suppose you have to forgot the formula of a rectangle perimeter. Then what you can do, just you can add all the side, then you get the same answer. Understand? Suppose you have to forgot this formula of perimeter of rectangle, so add all the side. So here 2 into L means what, length, that is 7y plus 7y minus 5 plus p, that is a 2y. So here if I have to simplify, so what we get, 2 into bracket 7y minus 5 plus 2y. So what we get, 2 as it is, 7y plus 2y. This can be added because these two are like terms. Understand? So these values can be added. So 7y plus 2y, that is what, 9y minus 5. And then 2 can be multiplied. So what we get, 18y minus 10. Understand? That is a perimeter of this rectangle. And perimeter means what? Perimeter means this boundary, sum of all side. This means I can draw this orange line. So that is also length of this rectangle. Understand? Suppose you have to forget the formula, then what you can do, 7y minus 5 plus 2y plus 7y minus 5 plus 2y. So here I can do just sum of all sides. Okay, so what we get? We get the same result. 7y plus 2y, that is 9y. 9y plus 7y, that is 16y plus 2y, that is 18y. And minus 5, that is minus 10. So we get the same answer if you use the formula, or otherwise you can just add sum of all side, so you get the same answer. Understand? Okay, now I have another question. Just a second. Okay, this question we have. So now this question is based on algebraic expression and equation. So here you can see that, can you identify, here identify terms, then like terms, coefficient, constant term of this expression. So we have this expression, y plus 8 minus 5y minus 3. So can you identify which how many terms are there? Then which is a like term, which one is a coefficient, and what is the constant here? Sorry, I can't hear you properly. Hello, hello.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, yes. Now it is better. Now I can hear you. So what you can say?
The term would be y.
No. Here I can explain. Okay, here you can see that what is term and like term. So you can see that in this question we have a y and 5y, okay, minus 5y we have. So this can be simplified, so we can combine this one, y minus 5y, just 1 second. So we can write y minus 5y, because y is what here, y is a variable. Okay, small alphabets we can use as a variable. And what is a constant? So this 8 and 3 is a constant, so I can combine these numbers. So here you can see that y minus 5y, so what we get, minus 4y plus 5. So after simplification of this one, we get this result. And according to this result, minus 4y plus 5, how many terms? Terms means what? So here you can see that terms can be separated by positive and negative sign. Here I can write terms can be separated by positive or negative sign. So between two terms, here you can see that minus 4y is a first term. Okay, minus 4y, that is the first term, and plus 5 is the second term. Just a second. Understand this one?
Yes.
So in this expression, we have a how many terms are there? We have a two terms are there. Okay. Then they can say coefficient. So coefficient means what? That is a multiple of a variable. Okay. Here I can write coefficient is what? Just 1 second. So coefficient means what? Simply that is known as multiple of a variable. Coefficient is multiple of variable. So here what is a variable? Variable is a y, and which one is a multiple of this variable? That is minus 4. So in this question, this algebraic expression, we have a coefficient is what? That is a minus 4. Understand?
Yeah.
And what do you mean by constant? So constant means what? Just 1 second. I can explain that one. So constant is what? Constant means the term without number, variable. Here I can write constant, that is what? So constant is what? Term without any variable. Without any variable. So you can see that plus 5 we have second term. So in this plus 5 we don't have any variable in the multiple. So this plus 5 is what? Here 5 or plus 5. Always we can put a sign. So plus 5, that is same as 5. But if we have a negative sign, so we must put a negative sign. Understand? So here constant term is what? That is a plus 5, constant term that is minus 4. Numbers of terms are 2, and variable is what? Here variable is a y. Understand?
Yes.
Okay, now in the second question, what are the terms that have a number but no variable? So if we have any terms doesn't have a variable, only number, that is called a constant term. Okay, because you can see that here I can write the definition of constant term, that is what? Term without any variable. And in this question they already say that a no variable is called constant term. Understand? So
Yes.
in that case, expression is like this one. Only 3 is there. Okay, only 2 is there. Only -1 is there. 17. Any number is there, but no variable is there. Understand?
Yeah.
Any doubt in this one?
No.
Okay, just 2 minutes. Okay. Now here you can see that we have this type of equations are there. So you know how can we solve this kind of equations?
Um. 25, 29. You write subtract 25 from both sides, then have 12 over 25 equals 4.
Okay, so you got the value of
Um,
D.
then D, D equals 100.
Sorry. Okay, no problem. I can explain. Here you can see that D divided by 12 plus 25 is equal to 29. So what we can do, we have a two method to solve this kind of equation. First method, if you subtract both side 25, so what you get, d by 12 plus 25 minus 25, and both side we can subtract 25. So you can see that this 25 can be cancelled because that is 0. So d by 12 is equal to what? 29 minus 25, that is 4. And now what I can do, I can multiply by 12 both side. So what we get here, 4 multiplied 12. So here we get d at 12, 12 can be cancel out. So we get here d that is equal to 12 4s are 48. Understand? Other method, I can explain the another method of the same question. That is what? D by 12 plus 25 is equal to 29. So here what we can do, we have to find d. So first I can take this 25 in other side. So if here you can see that 25 is a positive, but it is go into other side of equal to, so sign can be changed, because d by 12 and 25, these two term between positive sign. Understand? So now what we get, so now we get a d by 12 is equal to 4. Now what we can do, 12 can be in the division, so we can find d. So division go into the other side of equal to, so that can be convert into multiplication. So we get the same answer. Either you can apply this first method, or you can apply the second method, you get the same answer. Understand? Okay, so if you apply any method, you got a same answer. Any doubt in question? Hello, any doubt in any questions?
Can you
Hello.
hear me?
Yes, yes, now I can hear you. Any doubt in any of these questions? today just I can discuss different questions. Okay, so just I can take a question from this algebra. This one is a power and exponent. Some question I can take from geometry, and also this is a geometrical question, trapezoid, area of trapezoid, how can we find? Okay, and I can take these equations. So, in our next class, I will discuss any particular topic if start from basic. So you can understand that topic from basic, and I can take a different examples. Okay, so you can easily understand. Okay, in your school, which topic is going on? Hello.
I haven't started seventh grade yet.
So
It's
which topic? Which topic is going on in your school?
I'm still in seventh. I'm still on summer break. I
Okay,
haven't
okay,
started
okay, no
school.
problem. Okay, so now today's class is over now. Okay, if you have any questions, so you can ask me, so I will explain regarding this topic.
So how is she doing?
Yes, she is doing good. So today just I can take a different question from two, three different topics. So I evaluate her. So how much different type of question he can solve. Sorry, she can solve. So I can take
Okay.
a different question from power on exponent. I can take a different question from geometry, and also I
Uh-huh.
can take a different question from these equations. So
Okay.
in my regular class, suppose I can take a particular topic, so I can start from very basic, and then I can discuss that topic from easy level to difficult level, easy to
Okay.
moderate and difficult level.
Okay.
So her concept will be clear.
Okay. So she hasn't started school yet. The school starts only August, around August 20th.
Okay, no problem.
So right now she's still on summer vacation.
Okay.
If you need, I can I can send you the like the index. Like what she learned in the 6th grade.
Yes, yes,
Just a picture of the index so that we can see. You can see the topic she has covered in 6th grade.
yes, yes.
I think my husband has your email or
No, you can send any detail to Avinash sir. So Avinash sir send to me.
oh, okay. Okay, we will do that.
And
We don't have the book for the 7th grade yet, so we don't know what will be covered in 7th grade. But we can send you what she already did in the 6th grade.
okay, no problem. And also in our regular class,
Yeah.
this is a PowerPoint presentation. So what we can do, this PowerPoint presentation after class is over, so we can convert into PDF file, and then we can send to student mail ID or parents mail ID. And also
Okay.
this class can be recorded, video recorded. So both can be sent. And also after
Okay.
every class, I will prepare a worksheet regarding particular topic. So that
Okay.
worksheet also I will send, so she can do the practice on that worksheet. And if she has any doubt, so I will discuss her doubt in the next class.
Okay. You understand, Uma?
Yes.
Okay. Were there anything if you needed to clarify, you need to ask him, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for the class today.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So when is the next one going to be?
Avinash sir talk with you. So next
Okay.
class when and which time?
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Is it always going to be with you, or is it going to be different people?
No. I can take her maths
Okay.
class.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.